When it comes to your offshore office, the pricing model you choose can make or break your success. Hi, I'm Bryan and I'm the CEO of Tache and the host of the Philippine Business Playbook podcast. In the outsourcing world, the common pricing model is a fixed cost model. At Tache, we utilize a cost plus model. In this video, I'm going to show you the pluses and minuses of both models and why we think a cost plus model sets you up for long-term success and why the fixed cost model has some hidden landmines that will get you down the road and potentially be the downfall of your offshore office. So let's get into the episode. So what is the fixed cost model? It's the most common type of pricing utilized in agencies, online job platforms, general offshore offices. It's a model where you pay a fixed cost either on an hourly basis, whether it's $8, $10, $15 an hour, or on a monthly basis where you're paying $800, $1,000, $1,500 a month for your employee. And on first glance, this model may seem like the more appropriate model. It seems straightforward. There's a really easy way to calculate how much your costs are going to be each month. When you get an invoice, it says one employee, 1 month, $1,000, or it's $10 an hour, or whatever the setup is. So many people feel like this is the more transparent and easier way to charge for your employees, and it may feel that way in the short term, but there's some hidden pitfalls with this model that really can trip up a business owner. So I'm going to tell you what those pitfalls are in this video. So what are some of the challenges of the fixed price model? Well, one of the challenges starts right at the very beginning when you're picking your employee, picking the staff member that's going to join your team. When you're in a fixed price model, it really limits the conversation you can have with your potential employee. A lot of these companies that use a fixed price model, they're going to place an employee with you without giving you really any decision whatsoever, because if you have a conversation with the potential staff member, price or their salary is often one of the most important subjects. So they're going to tell you that they've got pre-vetted employees that are amazing staff that are going to be perfect for your company. And you're really not going to have an opportunity to choose. Or they're going to say that we've trained the staff already. They're already pre-trained for your industry, exactly what you want to do, and therefore you don't need to really vet or have a conversation with that staff member. If you are looking to hire somebody, you're going to want to have people at different range levels of experience. You're going to want people that are either junior level people that are going to be supporting other senior level people that are at a lower salary range, or you're going to want somebody that's a senior level person that's going to be managing the people below them. And to have that nuance between somebody with 3 years experience or 8 years or 12 years experience requires a detail in their salary that a fixed price model doesn't allow. And therefore, when you're selecting your employee, you're not going to have the full range of employees to choose from when deciding on who's going to be on your team. And then once you have the employee onboarded and they've selected somebody for you, or maybe you've selected somebody yourself, there's a lack of transparency. There's a lack of transparency between you and the employee, and the employee and you, and what you end up with is a situation where you have an employee where you can't talk about salaries, which is often the most important thing in an employee-employee relationship. You're going to have a situation where you're paying a fixed cost to the agency or the online platform, whether it's $1,000 or $12 an hour, and they're divvying up that payment between their overhead costs and the employee and the profit that they want to have, but you have no idea how that money is divided up. So let's pretend you're paying $1,000 a month for a staff member. Does that employee get $500? Does they get $600? They get $800? You don't know. And how much of that is going to benefits for that employees and overhead, and how much is that of that is going to be profit for the company. If you don't know, then how are you going to have flexibility down the road to give that person a bonus or give that person a raise? If you have an employee for more than a few months, you may come to a situation where you want to incentivize them to work hard over the weekend or something like that, and you want to give them a bonus for that extra effort. If you don't have the transparency of how much they're getting paid, how are you going to be able to do that? Are you going to talk to the agency and say, well, instead of $1,000 this month, I'm going to send you $1,200? Well, what happens to that extra $200? Are you hoping that they give that $200 to your employee, or are they going to split it up some way? It really becomes complicated and convoluted, and really does not work in a fixed cost situation. And then additionally, because that company is charging you a fixed price, they have to think of all scenarios within that price. Not only are they going to have to think about the staff employee and potentially some raises for that employee, they have to think about what are the unforeseen costs associated with having that employee. So some employees end up going on maternity leave, or they have bereavement leave and all these other benefits that are required by the Philippines government, or they have to get additional equipment, or there's other unforeseen costs associated with the employee. And so they need to factor all of those unforeseen expenses, average it out over all of their employees, and charge you an overhead fee on top of the salary fee that kind of covers for those scenarios. And what happens is you end up paying a higher fee in anticipation of those costs, which maybe covers them if those things happen, but if not, ends up just being additional profit for the company. So that risk of being overcharged because of the lack of transparency and the lack of, working together between the employee and the client and the agency really takes shape because you're not working together to have a common goal of success for everyone. So these kind of unforeseen hidden landmines of the fixed cost model, I think over the long term makes it break down, and I think is the reason why you don't really hear of long-term successes in these scenarios. If you're working with somebody on Upwork or onlinejobs.ph or through some agency that has a fixed price model, it's really hard to foresee how you're going to have a 4, 5, 10-year relationship with that company. The model is set up for ease of use up front and make it easy to onboard you, but it doesn't allow for flexibility over the long term to have a long-term success with your company. What I tried to do when I was creating our pricing model at Tachi was try and find a model where everyone's working together to have success so that everyone succeeds and everyone is moving forward. You know, not only the client and ourselves as the agency, but also the employee. So a cost plus model allows for transparency between all of the parties involved, where we really want everyone to succeed. We want the client to have the best possible team for them with the right mix of junior people and senior people, and the ability for that team to grow through the years, and the ability to give that team raises and bonuses and overtime pay, and really reduce all of the limitations that a fixed price model has. When you're looking at it from the employee side, you want to be able to have conversations with not only the agency but also the client that you're working with, that you're doing your 40 hours a week with, and be able to talk to them about, like, hey, I really love my job, but I need to get a little bit of a raise. I've been doing this for a couple of years or more, and it's just I feel like I'm worth more at this point. And if not, I might be looking somewhere else to go somewhere else. And if you're not able to have those conversations because there's the lack of transparency between all the different players, you end up giving up and you're moving on to another company so that you can get that raise that you think you deserve. And so that creates the churn in the industry that everyone's concerned about. and makes it so that the only way that you can advance in your career is if you leave to another agency or company or client. And that obviously is not great for the client, not great for the agency, and I say is not the best case scenario for the employee. And then from the agency side, the agency, their greatest goal is to make the client as happy as possible so that they stick around as long as possible, and making the employees as happy as possible so that they stay committed to their clients and don't want to jump ship to another agency so that you have to replace them. And so if you have a model where the success of the team for the client and for the agency is utmost paramount for everyone, you're going to have a long-term success. I think that aligned goals breed success. And so if the agency has a goal of building the best possible team, no matter if they're low-level people or high-level people, no matter if they're getting paid high salaries or low salaries, no matter if they're getting raises or bonuses, they're going to be able to build the best possible team for that client. And the client is going to have the most success because they're going to have the best team, and the team is going to have the greatest success because they're being properly compensated, they're being recognized on a year-to-year basis, and they see themselves as having a long-term relationship with the client. And I think all of those factors just do not occur when you're working in a fixed price model, where you have these roadblocks, these walls between the different partners that are really impossible to overcome, I believe, in a long-term relationship. So those are my views on the fixed cost versus cost plus model. And I think once people see that and hear about it, the light bulb goes off in their head and they say, wow, that makes total sense. And so I wanted to share that with you. If you think about it, how you act with your employees in the US, you're looking for, you would not put yourself in a situation where you're not able to talk about salaries. You're not able to give them raises. You're not able to give them bonuses. You're not able to advance them in a long-term relationship. And you know that wouldn't be successful in the US. And so I wonder why people think that that's going to be successful in the Philippines. And part of it might just be that hasn't been in the norm in the past. And so at Tache, we've tried to change that model, go to a model that's more like the successful model that happens in the US. And I think it's shown in the success of Tache and shown with the success of our teams. And it's something that I really am a big believer in, and something that I try to emphasize to all of our clients, whether or not they're working with us or somebody else. They really think about the pricing model that they have with their team in the Philippines, because I think that even though it may feel easier up front to do a fixed cost pricing model, it's not going to lead you to long-term success. And long-term success is getting into the nitty-gritty details of a cost-plus model in the Philippines. All right, if you enjoyed this episode and you feel like maybe you learned a little bit about the various pricing models that are available in the offshoring industry, hit that like button. And if you've got any questions, put a comment below. We'd love to have a conversation with you, maybe answer your questions. If you think that the fixed price model is amazing and is great, let me know. I'd love to hear your reasons why, and maybe you can teach me something as well. Also, if you know somebody that's wanting to build a team in the Philippines or has a team in the Philippines and this topic might interest them, please share it. We'd love to grow our community. So do all the stuff, like this video, add a comment, and obviously subscribe so you can get all of our future videos right in your feed. Until next time, thank you and have a great day.